absolutely beautiful astrology soulmates. It's me, Stormie Grace, and today we are going to pop in together and discuss the upcoming new moon at 12 degrees of Pisces, which I've got popped up here for you on the chart. We're going to take a look around and explore this energy just a little bit. If you also haven't had an opportunity to check out your March monthly horoscope for your sun, moon, or rising, make sure you do that in the March astrology playlist so that you can really see the full picture of what the month looks like, but then also bring in the features of this lunation itself into how you can help things manifest and what you're watching for. So make sure you check that out. I will make sure there is a link to that video at the end of this video as well to make it easy for you to jump on board with. And if you have not jumped in with us as of February 24th to the Kickstarter for year 2 of the YouTube Academy classes that we've got here on YouTube, click in the description box down below, click the link to the Kickstarter and kick in to our Kickstarter. We are funding for 30 days from February 24th to have year 2 of our free astrology academy going. And if you haven't or didn't even know that we had free astrology classes going on in an actual school fashion, you can check them out in the playlist. I'll put a link up here and also at the end of this video. And of course, you can find it on my homepage. Okay, this beautiful new moon coming up to usher us into March is going to be at 12 degrees of Pisces, which we see right here. Now, the actual aspect that comes together when we're talking about a new moon for the month is when the sun and the moon come together. And when our luminaries come together, it's an energy that says anything is possible. This is the lights in the sky. But because they're together, we're planting our seeds of intention for any possibility that could play out for us in the dark. So it is also a highly intuitive time where things and facts and information are not just abundantly clear, but instead we're having to trust the magic of what we're attempting to unfold. Now, Stephen Forrest talks about this, and he's one of my teachers, and I love it. What we plant in our garden at the new moon, for good or for ill, we're going to work with that for about 4 weeks and sometimes longer, which is not a statement for you to fear if something feels like it's not going right on a new moon day. That's not about what it is at all. It's simply to understand and to really take a lot of responsibility as we're dealing in these pockets of time for being accountable. What do you want to plant in your garden that is very fertile? It has got soil down here that is the end of a 28-day cycle, and it is ready to blossom something. So it's about grabbing the accountability to plant the best seeds of intention that you have and trying to also make time and space for yourself at these lunar check-ins to slow down. Get clear on what you want and get clear on what is happening in your life, because there's plenty happening in your life, whether you want it or you don't want it. Cycles are happening and bringing things to beginning, to closure, to adjustment all month long. And if you're paying attention, you can work a little bit smarter, not harder, in the life and the energies that are available to you, okay? So at this new moon, you're planting your seeds of intention. We've got about the most potent energy at a new moon is in that first 8 hours as it's happening and after. So right in there, take your bath, wash your hair, cut your eyelashes, whatever it is that you do to bring ceremony to this. It's most potent in that 8 hours. But you are going to watch these energies unfold for about 4 weeks. Okay, so just know that you've got time in this cycle in case you miss your 8-hour window. It's not just like, oh, good job, you messed that up. It's not like that at all. The universe is kind and it is always working in your favor. Okay. Now, we want to, when we're looking at the new moon, first of all, look at everything tightly connected to this particular moon. As you can see, there's a lot going on, and we are going to talk about it because we've got things pairing up in this chart, and I think they do put emphasis and impact, but we want to look first at what does the moon itself and its aspects actually have to offer. So on on March 2nd, we're going to see that we have got the sun and the moon together here at 12 degrees of Pisces. Now, first of all, because we're planting seeds of intention, I think there's this sense of like newness, obviously, that comes with it. It's a new moon. But in the energy of Pisces, for me, something I really reflect on is that some version of what you've got going on, in order to have the newness, you maybe have to plant seeds of intention for something to end so something else can begin, right? And that's always happening anyways. If something's beginning, something's ending. But this may need to be very intentional. It's like, I need to surrender to win here. What do I need to surrender in order to make space for the newness, for the transformation, for the culmination, for the assimilation of everything coming together? What do you need to surrender to win? Because that's as much of a fresh and a new start as anything is. In Pisces energy, I also think of the link that each of us have at 12 degrees of Pisces in your chart. What's your psychic and intuitive energy telling you? Where are you feeling pulled and called at a spiritual level to make an adjustment or to connect, right? Where is it time for you to slow down, breathe, ground your feet down, and check in with the intuition, check in with the things moving between the worlds, the ancestors, your wisdom, your spirit. Have you been feeling spiritually asleep? And one of the ways to know that is it's like inspiration. What the F is that, right? Like that's a sign that we've got some spiritual sleepiness going on, which doesn't make it wrong. It makes it human. So where can you connect in and see where you can surrender to win to allow a fresh start? Now, I think quite practically, I'm a Taurus. If you're new here, I'm a Taurus. I think of practical things. This could also have to do with the elderly people in your life, elderly people, infants and babies, specialized populations. Do you have something going on with institutions, right? Any place where we would do seclusion or confinement, that's jails, rehabs, nursing homes, the NICU, right? Whatever it is in these circumstances, you could find too that there's an energy of a fresh start or a shift in that place, right? And you can be calling that in and helping to manifest that as well. So think about that along the terms of what you're trying to begin and where you'd like to plant your seeds of intention. And don't forget to check out which house this is happening for you in your chart. If you're not sure how to find this degree of 12 degrees Pisces in your chart, I've got a video in the description box down below to help you see how to spot it. So you can be very specific with what you're working on as well. Now, to add to some flavor, put a little bouillon in this particular moon, what we've also got going here is that we can see that transiting Jupiter is nicely in conjunction with this moon. And this is by far one of the strongest connections, including the sextile with Uranus. But having the sun, the moon, and Jupiter all pushed in together, that is this energy of Jupiter that says absolutely anything is possible. Right? And Jupiter is comfortable. It's at home in the energy of Pisces. It knows no bounds, but it does apply wisdom and it does bring experience to build wisdom. So there is this energy of Pisces that I just feel like this moon is boundless and it's got very big arms and very long reach with its fingers. So something I want you to also consider is that this moon, regardless of what you need to surrender in order to start, regardless of whatever is maybe coming to an end, creative talents, my actors, my musicians out there, what has got a fresh vibe to you? It is all about blessing. This moon is the gift of blessing, and it is a blessing that may take you in the needed new direction. So I would love for you to focus in on that. Now, when I talk about that needed new direction as well, we see this sextile happening between the moon and the sun, the moon, Jupiter, and this Uranian energy over here in Taurus. Uranus is exciting. It brings change, it brings surprise, it brings course correction, it brings progression, it brings innovation. So really, truly, this could be a time where it's like have you had this feeling, you guys? Have you had this sense of, I think, and I feel like I am on the right path, but I just don't quite, there's a thing, and I can't quite put my finger on it. If you've got some of that, Uranus will pop that open, right? Because the sextile here not only brings an opportunity to the table, easily ushers in an opportunity, but it asks you to take intelligent action to take advantage of that opportunity. So emotionally, where is this surrender, the absolute progress that you needed to take a progressive, innovative start to move in a different direction? Where does this open up a financial opportunity or a relationship dynamic that you never even saw coming, or you felt stuck in it for a time? What is it that at a spiritual level even is showing you your worth and your value under the very electric Uranus and Taurus that you maybe couldn't spot before? Because remember, Uranus and Taurus, yes, it brought the bodies to the surface. It woke up, right? It's like electricity waking up a mountain. So it rose the bodies to the surface. Things in you that have been dead and needed to be unearthed so they could be cremated and brought back to the earth, those came to the surface, but so did the gems and the jewels of who you are. The rich minerals of your personhood came to the surface as well. And now it's time to do something with that. Check in on the alignment of this moon and do something with that, okay? I also do think that this points you, with the node traveling through Taurus, highly to financial things and to relationships. Now, going a little further into this dynamic of the relationships, we see that Venus and Mars have been traveling together, and we've loved their delicious combination, but they're also traveling at this moon with the energy of Pluto. And this gives me the sense of change. There is change of direction. There is change of what you have found valuable and what you have found foundational in your relationships. And I think that this is pretty important to acknowledge, because the changes in the relationship, the changes that you're finding as these are all conjoined over there in this energy, the transformation coming with that is a part of your destiny to move forward, to have financial, material, self-worth, sexual, peace, and resiliency and inspiration in your life. Now, I also think too, it creates the awakening of the spirit by igniting that inspiration and some passion, where it's like, yeah, maybe this career does need to die off so that something else can live, even if I don't fully understand how to do it yet. Maybe I do need to be a little bit more accountable and responsible for how I'm spending and using my resources, but here's an opportunity for me to learn to do that very, very well. So whatever it is around love, relationships, money, transformation at this moon is so abundantly apparent that change is in the air, or that change has already happened for you, and you are starting to move in a way that has created major change around your finances and your relationships. And I really think that's quite important to take in at this moon, because, when we straighten out spiritually, when we get in contact spiritually, we see what we can surrender and still be okay. And we do it with a sense of peace. Not to mention, when we get honest and we straighten out spiritually, my spirit is right, I straighten out financially, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Right? When I get in alignment, things get in alignment. So this energy speaks to that. Now, we don't want to miss out on the fact that we've also got another tight conjunction here of Mercury and Saturn traveling together. And as these two are in conjunction, Mercury-Saturn gets focused. Right? You're not willy-nilly about decisions you're making. You're not willy-nilly about conversations that you're having. Any of those kinds of things, they're pretty grounded. So it's a very grounded, focused kind of energy. And I also think that what's on your mind and what you're feeling responsible for, right? Like this head, heart, mental duty kind of energy, you're feeling responsible. You're thinking very seriously about the changes that you want to make or the direction that you would like to, Aquarius, progress and what's right for you and how you can do that. I also do feel like Mercury and Saturn here at this moon, their real gift is that you get serious about not being willing to be afraid. It's like, I don't want to let fear hold me back. I don't want to power struggle with this anymore. Maybe I do need to network. Maybe I do need to join that class and invest so that I can learn how to do something different. This is where I don't surrender me. I actually become the best version of me by allowing the group to show me how to go forward. This could be that you're learning something online. You know, to the rest of the people who are my high online people, do you need to adjust how you're being online? What is it in your networking that you are contemplating so seriously because it brings your actions and your attitude and your connection in alignment spiritually? Allow yourself to be guided to what surrender is needed to really allow you to have the lush fullness that this moon has to offer. Now, the ruling planet of this moon is also Jupiter and Pisces. They're in Pisces, so it's actually quite comfortable. So I really do think the benefits of this moon is that they act as a really big blessing to you, but it is not necessarily the blessing that comes in material surprise fashion, unless your Piscean energy happens to be in a material house. Okay, then you could potentially see something like your second house or something like that. But more so, I feel like it's a rebalancing of the spirit that gives you access to surrender to win, so you can move forward with what's next with the right people, places, and thing in your honest alignment. Now, the challenge that I still think comes with every moon is that emotionally, it's not right or wrong. It is simply showing you where you still have space for growth, and you have to go through your lessons to do the growth. Where are you still power struggling, passing off your power? Where do you still feel like something is someone else's fault as opposed to being your own, or as opposed to not being your fault, but what has been left over in your experience is for you to deal with, and it doesn't ever let anybody off the hook. It simply says you cannot change another's behavior, actions, or attitudes. You can simply only handle what is in your wheelhouse. Where do you have power to actually make change that will allow you to stop suppressing the greatest of what you have to offer? And really, if it's your space that can be changed, that's the best news. But sometimes we're not quite ready just yet. So I would ask you, plant your seeds of intention at this mood to surrender to win where you're at and accept yourself where you are at, okay? All right, my absolutely beautiful friends, please let me know underneath this video, what house does this particular moon fall in for you? For me, this falls at my descendant, so in my 7th house space. I'm looking forward to some surrender to win around all sorts of different relationship dynamics in my life so that they can be what they need to be next. It's really going to be exciting. So I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with me here too. Let me know in the comment section what's going on with you. Don't forget to kick into the Kickstarter. Every dime, every dollar, every share absolutely helps all of us, especially because we are experiencing this absolute inflation of prices and everything else around us. So if we all kick in a little bit, we can all eat a lot through this inflated season and really keep the astrology education going strong. All right, my beautiful friends, I love you a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.